to being authentic. It's simple. Simple. Oh, that made me feel really bad. Oh, that made me feel really good. Oh, that made me feel this way. Oh, I'm hungry now. Oh, this, that. Very simple. Very, very simple. But these things, when added to the whole, are the keys. The keys to speed up all of our frequency. No longer are things missing because we don't put everything in its right place. We have everything where it's meant to go. Everything balanced perfect. And everything can move perfect around that spot. When everything moves perfect around that spot is a natural feng shui. They naturally feng shui the atmosphere of everything. Teachers always do this. That's how they clean the dirt. That's how they clean up the mess of everybody. People leave their dirt in places. Their obscurations, their past energy suppression. Denser energies. You get left places. You just walk and you clear them. Just walk regular. No problem. Easy. Clears them on its own. Natural feng shui. Because you are that way, and so you always radiate the resonance of that frequency. Everywhere you go, resonates to that. It cleans the atmosphere all on its own. So you just clean here. It always cleans everywhere here. Everywhere you'll ever be, then it was always clean. And it's easy, actually. You just come present here now. Why would you be taken out of presence? Lack of acceptance, judgment, all the mind. And so there's plenty of programs to teach you how. But you can literally just step in, and then see every time one of those other things try to come. And when you step in, you start to experience the perfection. And now you know it yourself. You know, oh yeah, no, it does happen perfect. It's able. I don't always myself stay in the impeccability of it, but it is always unfolding perfectly even when I don't. No matter what I do, apparently, I'll come into the view. And it writes itself at that time. Very easy. And as you see, there's people in the world, already in the Western world, that have come to realization. And so we have plenty of ability to study with one another now. Plenty of ability to be like, oh yeah, no, this is working for me too. Oh no, this is working for me too. And then we're all like, oh okay, yeah, we got it. We got a real thing here. And we share, as we are. But it's much more simple. We find the fastest route. And everybody wake up now. When people can just wake up from a single movement, that's a lot. Here, follow this pencil. You wake up, follow the pencil. What? That's stupid. There's no way that works. That can work. It's very simple things. People are different though. We work unique with everybody. But I think that these are such general, common, easy ways to come into presence that they actually follow the pencil or the follow the stick may work for everybody actually. It's very simple practice, coming precise in the moment. You're just nothing but with that one stick. That's all you're with. And you're just looking at it. And you're keeping it moving. You're allowing yourself to follow along with it. You might even walk. You might do whatever. But you just keep it moving. You keep following it. And because you're doing this, your mind can never get in the way. Every time your mind comes in, you just go back to looking at the stick and following it. Very simple. Very simple. Very simple. If you do that long enough, you know what it means to be present. You just do that for an hour, 2 hours. Afterwards, when you stop, you'll be very present. You have not given in to any of your thoughts in your mind, any of your stories. You have been there for so long, choosing presence first. And that's the kingdom. You sought first the kingdom. And so there you go. You've sought first the kingdom right here within your hand. The present moment, the kingdom of God, the Garden of Eden, where everything is, where all life will be forever, the eternal place, the seat of awareness. Here we are, presently now. And you just do that. And you see, afterwards, utterly present, easy to focus. Any activity you do after that, if you do it in that same way of presence, you'll see that it's perfect. Only when your mind tries to come in, to arrange it itself, to observe, to control, to do it with its own force, that's the only time you'll fall off of that ability to be completely balanced with everything in the most amazing harmony. You'll do the most amazing flows. You'll catch the wrench without trying. You'll do whatever you can do. You can catch it. As in a movie. It's very beautiful. You catch it. Because you're 100% present, precise. You won't overcatch it. You won't undercatch it. Exactly where it was. Why? You didn't have to think. It was like a dance. You didn't try at all. You didn't even know, maybe. Not until the moment you're holding the wrench. Oh, I'm holding a wrench now. And maybe you observe it, and maybe that clogs you. Or maybe you don't even care. Catch. You do what you're doing. And you're doing. Doing is very nice. You can speak too. It's a doing as well. It's just when we think too much, it can be difficult. But that's also exactly right, no matter what's happening, because we're not doers. You can't actually think. If you're observing something thinking, you're not the thing that you're observing thinking, but you are observing it and identifying with it. And you don't have to. And these are practices that can help you not have to, by showing you how to experience them. Now moment in action, in movement, in grit simplicity. No more with your great curious viewpoint. We said a pencil or some stick. A stick even is more pure than a pencil to some people. So maybe it's good we just keep with the pencil. Just look at a pencil like you're in school. Well, remove your school obscurations, all your school traumas. This is helping my vision. It is interesting how that does help your vision, being precise with the moment. They say it's because it's working the muscles. Maybe that is what it is. But you see, you're limitless, so working the muscles is slower than what you're capable of. And we'll be showing you that maybe here in this forest. I was going to say here in these woods. Oh yeah, maybe here in these woods. I don't know. Apparently the channel said that. I judged and observed it a little bit, so we have this extra dual thing. But don't worry, because I've added it, it's all the singular. We talked about that earlier. What an amazing day it is. Phenomenal. I like to be standing, it's nice. I feel a lot like a tree right now myself. I also feel like sitting down by one of these very beautiful Norfolk pines and smoking some amazing hula buds. So, I think that's what we'll do. You want to come, Jay? Come, let's go sit. My knees feel a little locked up, so I'll walk nice and slow. I was standing there for a long time. Sometimes it can be that maybe I need to move my legs more. We're going to find out, what it feels like. When you fully stretch your body out, then it's easy to be a human being. But when you've been like an illusory being for so long, playing this real character, it's like, stretch your legs. Kind of like the grandpa in Willy Wonka. He had to stretch his legs out. Then he could walk just fine. He just had to stretch them out. He hadn't moved them for 20 years. And like you guys, you haven't moved yourselves all limitless like ever. Actually, you're moving limitlessly right now. But I mean, you haven't moved in a hyperdimensional way at great speed, transcending physical belief in a long time. So you stretch out like that, it'll be easy for you to balance on yourself. But also sometimes the quick rise is kind of more difficult. So the slow rise, right now that I'm doing, seems to be very sturdy. I like the slow rise. Because now I can see where all of those things that were happening during medicine ceremony are available right here now in this now moment. And it's just the difference in which and how we step into it. So our belief in ourselves in that moment. So as I come into the truth of myself more and more, I believe in myself more and more, confident in myself more and more, I can say that, oh yeah, no, I'm still the same being as during these medicine ceremonies. I'm still able to raise my energy and still able to step into these very powerful places. So I've been having a lot of amazing experiences thinking of myself as a Guru Rinpoche style being, Padmasambhava style or something, and just imagining myself moving hyperdimensional energy waves, but just instantaneously in the now moment regularly, like in an everyday situation or something, showing people like really insane, impossible things in a regular day. And it's actually easy to do. So that's the cool thing about it. As I help everybody else through these videos and working with me in person, step into their limitless flow very easily, instantaneously. We talked to a brother the other day, Cameron Bowen, and talked to him about his medicine experience where he's able to run much faster and much longer, and talked about how that was the already experience of a gateway into limitlessness, and that was already still available to him now. So if he can see how it is different, his belief in his movement now than his belief in his movement then he can replicate like a mockingbird the movement within his medicine ceremony. He can replicate it immediately in this very moment. I myself am coming into the places of this and confidence to allow that to happen more and more greatly, and it's becoming better and better every day. We stopped earlier this song channel, I guess at the right time, but I didn't like the time that we stopped it, actually. But it was good. I just felt like I was dwindling in some way, but in some way, I guess you might actually need to dwindle if you're going to stop something, because otherwise you're going to be going powerfully strong and feeling really amazing, and nothing will ever make you stop from that then, because I feel so good. So it's kind of good to have that. Usually when I'm really powerful in the flow with the fullness of the voice, I have a skip and beat, and then the start of a new kind of a rhythm, and then that's the end. So this time it was a little different than that, but it may have been similar. There's ways that it was preluding into a different thing. So it actually did do that in the end. I do remember that, but yeah, it was the prelude. And so you just get more confident and comfortable with everything as it goes. We have the very lucky studying that all of consciousness is there the moment I need them to be there to tell me you're good as fuck. And so before it was like forever. It would take like, when is everything going to tell me I'm okay? Now it tells me rapid. It was funny too. I remember it's a Christian thing where they say the blessings get further and farther and farther apart, you know. And I guess that is true for the Christians. But shoot, when they probably first came in, they were probably like super present, you know. And so, if only they would have remained super present. But you know, then they became back in their lives. It was kind of easier. It was like a normal thing, kind of a natural habitual pattern. Now they can just go through it like a robot, you know, just doing the motions. Different then. If you're always in the now moment, you experience blessings every second. You experience realization every second. Anybody be a great master. Just come right here now. Intention. What are you looking for? So people don't really know themselves. You know, they can't really see what's happening with everybody. Always these judgments. Take them right out of the moment, back in their head, back in their thought, back in their judgment. Now it's going to be tough for them. They have to fix something in the world now. Something wrong inside themselves. Can't stay precise in the moment because it's a perfect place. It's extremely precise. You see, it's exact. And you can't stay there with extra things. It's too heavy. Always throw you off, bounce you around. Only one way to come to settle, and that's to see yourself as equanimity. Everything. Otherwise, any stimuli will show you a lie. Yeah, it's wonderful to be here. I'm back at home. What a great place. So peaceful, the forest. So powerful, these teachings coming through recently. All the way. Just coming greater and greater into the center of the now moment. Greater and greater, the light language and the flow. And by doing it every day, even if I don't do it for immaculate amounts of time every day I'm upgraded through it. Being present just grows itself in every way, balances itself in every way. The Book of Life teaches in every way. It's always doing it for every person already. So we just come into awareness with flow, come into awareness with what's happening with ourselves. Yeah, there's a lot of things to share. A lot of really good teachings I wanted to share with Miss Ray today. And I guess I will share with the entire world. Sometimes I get real nervous, you know, I don't really want to be talking to you guys. I don't know if you'll be able to see it the same way or if I'll have too many focuses at the same time. It's kind of like speaking to thousands of people, millions of people at the same time. But in a much less pressureful way than if they were all right here in front of me or something. We also talk about the efficiency of the internet a lot and how nice it is, you know, you don't have to go all around the world. Everybody can access your video for free online, and the teachings, they access pure awareness. The teachings from the center of all that is, you know, from the center of ourselves, you know, we've been given clear views to share with one another of our own particular chord shape. And my particular view is sharing these codings of non-duality, of equanimity, and these really quick teachings on how to come into it. And it just takes our own dedication too, if we're not dedicated to ourselves actually. And so where it's going to be hard. That's why all of these videos are very helpful for studying, because they give the download of the awareness that was given by pure awareness. And so the view that was given there is the view that can unwrite the societal programmings and the lies of society that have been causing us to hide away for reasons of politeness and propriety, ignorant compassion from who we are truly, and cause us to agree with stories that are not true of ourselves, judgments of ourselves that are not true of ourselves, ways we cannot express ourselves sexually, emotionally, all kinds of ways, in any manner, authentically, that are not the way that we are actually. In fact, we'll see that we're actually not even sexual in that way, and we're not even not sexual in that way, and we're not this way in the way of play, and we're not this way in the way of seriousness. We're all of these things, equally balanced in a really amazing manner, and we only do things for our highest benefit. And our highest benefit is the benefit of what is actually ourselves. All of this. And it's funny though, it's very simple to do that. You do what's beneficial for this yourself. And this yourself is living typically in an illusory reality that believes of itself as a finite, limited being that is not eternal, pure awareness of consciousness. And so what you can do for this personal being is find out what you are, and then be able to exude yourself as the truth of who you are, as absolute freedom, as you are actually, not this finite, limited being that can only do these, collective conglomeration of what is possible for a human being, but you as limitless consciousness that has no limitation at all, has no bound or binding in any way, that can do literally everything. And so that's where all of consciousness wants us to open. That's where I myself am blooming at this time, and so that's why I share with you these times. I already see now that it's important to share at this point in the journey and every point in the journey possible, because eventually I will look like somebody who just manifested this way. But there's a whole journey that never gets shown, of growth, that shows us that I am ordinary and that you are the same as me, or greater, or however you wish, but we are equal actually. But that you are the same, that you are limitless emptiness, that you are just as already extraordinary as I am, that I was not actually extraordinary, I became very honest and ordinary. And our honest, ordinary self is extraordinary. Really, really, really phenomenal. And so I'm very happy for the ability to be able to show you what it's like to be human for the first time on video, and hopefully change the world and the way in which we all perceive consciousness, bring a greater simplicity to the way in which we can realize ourselves. No more endless training. We bring the Dzogchen to life here to the West. Some Tibetan teachers said that you couldn't teach Westerners Dzogchen, but here finally, Westerners have a Dzogchen practitioner embodied through spontaneous growth in the now moment, growing straight from the monk, has no lineage, no practice, just come accidentally. And so I know the simplicity, and it's extremely simple. And I didn't believe in it before, or I did, but I wasn't sure if anybody was capable. But as it turns out, yeah, people are capable. Ray right here is living proof. She's opening so much. She's a living mirror of how beneficial this is. And Dayton on the beach, and Mikey, and many other people have been touched throughout time. People I've touched years ago that are doing better. So it's very beautiful. And we just keep sowing those great seeds and growing more and more deeply, coming more and more fully into the now moment. No reason to retract away from it. It's endless and infinite, and every day of our lives is here for the journey of learning and for growing and for helping all of ourselves. I don't really have any other motivation but to do that. I mean, nothing else seems to be of efficient, beneficial potential. And as I relax more deeply into myself, instead of trying to force myself into some service cord shape, I find that it's actually all I ever do is talk about it. That's all I ever do is activate beings. If you're going to come around me, that's what's going to have to happen. Or else you're not going to want to be around me. And so people don't want to be around me, and then some people do. And every time we're around each other, I don't have any time to be hanging out with you the same way other people do. I have only time then to transfer information that will help and benefit your personal life path for the whole of your eternity in every mind stream. Why would I help you do that? Because you're myself, and I'm helping myself. I love you guys as much as I love myself. I treat you as I treat me. I love me deeply. I love all of us deeply. I know who we are. I know that we are every being entirely. I know that we are pure awareness. I have plenty of imagery. I have plenty of ways to share this. I have plenty of ways to show this, that if we have the right machines and material and measurement equipment, we can prove this in science for the entire collective and for the entire world. We change the entire program of how we view the entirety of our whole reality, how we logically speak, what it is we do. We change the entire template we follow now as a whole world, the way, but in a way that we're all aware. So we understand the Tao, the Tao Te Ching, and we understand the wisdoms and their truth, and we understand then how to conduct ourselves and how to bring ourselves and how to realize ourselves. And as we all come into this realization, we all have the ability, the space hold for each other doing so. In everybody, it becomes easier and easier the more of us that do it. Because we're now allowing oscillation points for things to balance upon and things to come to. You hold a set vibration, now things can come and resonate to that vibration for as long as they're able, and then they go, So that's the point of it. Many teachers have done this. They stop in a place and they resonate the frequency, and things come to them, and they upgrade it for as long as what it's able. And those things might want to stay longer, but it tells them to go when it's time for them to go, because otherwise it would stagnate the flow, take a denser role, start to control, dominate reality. People can be very dominating, wanting everything to be the way they want it for them. We can just not even need a teacher anymore. That's the cool thing. You guys can come on here and watch these videos. I'll give you all the practices that anybody would ever need to easily come in. We'll find easier and easier ways as we go. Just stay with us. And if you already are able, these practices we already put out here have the ability to enlighten you if you are dedicated to just being present with them. The light language flows. Anybody who has light language right now has the ability to fully liberate their consciousness from all of the illusory fights, all of the lies, and become an honest transference of hollow bone reality, just the same as me. And you actually already are, and so it's just realization. When you come into the awareness of how you are, you can now be how you are, easily. You don't have to fight yourself any further. You can allow yourself, finally, and see how you are, the perfection unfolding, and how everything is already. And then you just share. Whenever it authentically comes, you don't have to. There's no emergency, no need to move in force. Everybody's already perfect. But you can just share. Oh, don't you know? And so that's what we're doing. We're showing the world a way for them to see who they are already. Not who they need to be, who they could become, possibly, if they gain the merit necessary, but who they are already, forever, eternally. Right now, we don't have a lot of wisdom being shared accurately, so it's very confusing. It's like, what does that even mean? What does it mean to be liberated? What does it mean to be enlightened? What does it mean this? Well, it's extremely simple. You're just being honest. You're just being yourself. It's very simple. But myself is not good enough. Well, you do not know yourself, so don't say that as if it's true. Or you can, but either way, it's not true. You are pure awareness. You are utter perfection. You are the complete marriage of wisdom and compassion. You are the greatest being that has ever existed. You are the only being that has ever existed. Each and every one of you, equally, together, singularly, and diverse. It's amazing. And there's ways to literally just step into this knowing. And so we're having many people step into this knowing, and you're going to be able to see a lot of really amazing things occur. And I'm very excited to have you here on this journey, to be able to be learning with you, walking with you, showing you all of these different things I've been learning from the heart of us all, because of you. I could not do it without you. Without your movements exactly the way that you were, I wouldn't be able to move exactly the way that I am, because it is the way that we all move exactly that moves the rest of it exactly. It's amazing. But we're all doing this together as one, simultaneously, so nobody's the forefront in a certain sense. But if anybody was, it might be me, eh? on the tip of the rolling over of the wave. Maybe we're all this. I don't know. It was a pretty large thing to experience within consciousness, I'll tell you that. But from this place of pure awareness, from this place of the very tip-top, I'll be able to show you the precision point that you all already are on, that you're already in. I've been able to experience it in a very crazy way. I've been given a ridiculous amount of contrast. I'm not sure that consciousness wants everybody to have to experience that kind of contrast. It was quite difficult. Make everything align in that kind of a way to provide that kind of an information. Take a long time for that. Nobody's ever transferred information this simple, this pure, this true, this accurate for a very, 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 very long time. I don't know if they were ever able because we didn't have the terminology. We couldn't explain things as pixels. We were saying ashes and dust, sand. We were saying lanterns instead of lights. We were saying all kinds of things. We didn't know frequency. We couldn't say that word, vibration, energy. We didn't know these things. We hadn't created science yet. We hadn't created computers. We hadn't created the way to which explain this very simple, that music is a meditation. It is literally a meditation. Sound, movement, embodying your experience, just being there fully with yourself. And we can show you how to do that easy. That's what walking meditation has been doing. That's what mantras have been doing. That's what everything's been doing, is just bringing you to the forefront of your mind. The light language is easy. See the words in your head while you're doing it. Just watch the words, spell them while you're doing it. And that will write your entire thing to be fully present with where you are. And you can see the forefront of your awareness with your thought line that is English. And if you don't slow down to observe it too much, it can move through just as fast as the light language. And you'll see that you're not doing it, but it is compiling itself.